Hey miners, Mining King here. Today we're going to be talking about AI platforms, so let's get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about AI and the marketplaces that all of us have been trying out, right? There's all kinds of them out there. There's RunPod, FluidStack, vast.ai, Salad, just Clore, Flux. There's everybody, right? So many different places. Now, a few of these places like RunPod and FluidStack, they do have more stringent requirements for people to have symmetrical, fiber connections, dedicated IP addresses, things of those nature. So those platforms are typically harder to get onto when you're trying to do it from home. Now, I'm going to be testing 4. That's right. I said 4 platforms. Okay. I have 4 4090s. These systems are, for the most part, pretty much equal to performance. There is a couple that have slight variances, but like the CPUs do change a little bit, but they're all like either Ryzen or 10th gen Intel. So they're relatively in the same generation, right? They all have 64 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte NVMe's. So it should be more than adequate to do this test, right? So this is what I plan to do, is we're going to test Salad, Vast, Clore, and Flux Core for 30 days from right now. And what I would like to do is if we could test it 30 days from now, and then maybe in 6 months from now, we'll revisit this test, right? Do another test and see how the market conditions are changing and who's getting the market share. Where is it the most profitable to host? Is it on Vast? Is it on Clore? Is it on Flux? Is it on Salad? What is the best place for us as hosting providers? Because that's what we are. We are hosting our equipment for people to rent it from us, right? We're providing a service, right? So where does it make most sense for people to put their machines on that particular platform, right? So I know all of these companies and projects, they all do great things and they're all building on their platforms and ecosystems and things like that. But hey, my job and what everybody else wants as far as people providing compute like me, we typically care about one thing, okay? Where do we get the most revenue from, right? Where do the numbers make sense? Where is the most profitable place to put my machine on as of right now? Okay. So I am going to be getting a few more watt meters. Okay. And this way I can accurately test all 4 of these machines on watt meters independently and be able to conduct this test, because then we can show how long were we rented for, how much power, how many kilowatt hours were consumed in that time period, right? How much power is being pulled on an average day-to-day basis, right? And I'll try to get all this at least once a day to see what the average power pull, what's the power pull at this particular time every day. And this way I can put down the Excel, what the power pull is, how many kilowatt hours are used and things like that. And we can kind of have a spreadsheet as far as from a power perspective, right? Because when we're renting AI compute information and when we're renting out our machines and stuff like that, different clients could have different requirements. And I know the power test is kind of not very accurate, but I'm just going to do it anyways, because 1 month you could have somebody using the heck out of your GPU and the next month you couldn't, right? Because it's kind of all over the place. And that is a give and take with, AI platforms, right? They could use, less 1 month and more the other. So, but I'm just going to include that in the test. And this way, I'm also going to go over, how easy was it to install, right? How informational is their guide on their website? Not guides that I make, because my guides I make very detailed from step 1 to done, right? That's what I do. So I start up here from installing the OS and I take you all the way through it, and and then I get you to where the machine is on and it's functional, right? So to me, how good is their guide on their platform for providers? Because I've found in a few situations that the guides are really terrible, right? And we're going to rate how good support is for the hosting. You know what I mean? What type of fees do you pay? How much is the fees? And are there any rate reductions if you have multiple machines and things like that? We're just gonna have a slew of information. You know what I mean? Does it have a management software overview? Can you control your prices? Pros and cons of each platform. So I do plan on doing a very detailed overview of this 30-day test. So I will be creating separate videos for each of these platforms, and the tests are going to be kind of done not directly side by side, because I have to wait for watt meters, and I have to do installations for all these platforms. So what my plan is we're just going to do 30 days from the day that I start getting on the platform, and then we're going to review and see how that looks. As well as I will be doing step-by-step Google Doc guides like I've done in the previous past for all of these platforms. And with FluxCore, you do have to do a Linux server version, because Windows versions it doesn't have the availability to do the Edge, which is what their compute is, right? So you do have to use Linux. So I'll be doing a guide for the FluxCore, the clore.ai. I already have a vast guide, and then the other one I'll be doing will be Salad, and I'm gonna make a guide for Salad. I know it's Windows, so it's kind of simple, but there is some BIOS settings and some other little tricks. I might make a guide for that, because I get a lot of questions about Salad. So I'll do some stuff on that. But my goal here is I want to see where is the most steady revenue income for me as a provider, right? Because that's in the end, when we invest money into this hardware, that's all essentially we're looking for. It doesn't matter who we're supporting. We need to be able to turn a profit on these machines. So let me know what you guys think about this. Is there I only have 4 4090s, so in the future, if there's some other platforms you would like me to test, feel free to maybe put them down below. And this way we can maybe do another round of 4 testing for other, different AI platforms, and we can get into that as well. Just put links, not maybe links, or let me know what those projects are down in the comments below. If we get 4 more after this test is done, if we get enough, maybe I'll consider doing another round of testing for these other platforms, and then we could pair those 4 with the original 4, and this way we could kind of have a real overview of where the market is, where their customers are, who has the biggest customer base, right? Because that's what it comes down to. You don't want to be on the place where there's too much supply, where everybody's on it but nobody's renting, right? Because then you're just sitting there idle and you're not making any money. It's not great. So little self show right here. I usually don't do this, but please go check out The Mining King, and that's with 2 I's. I'll have it right here on the screen, theminingking.com, and there'll be a link down below. I just recently redid my website. I would appreciate it if you wouldn't just at least go check it out and let me know your guys' thoughts. All right, this is Mining King giving you the most hashes, and I'll see you next time.